Hello, and welcome to Year of the Machine.
Yep, dropped it. Sorry. I knew that was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen this early.
This week, we watched Robot Wars.
It's a very misleading title because there wasn't actually any real wars involved, and there was two robots? One only appearing in the last 15, 20 minutes of the movie.
The last 10. I'd call it Robot Fight.
It was barely even a robot fight, though. They wrestled around on the ground for 2 minutes, and then the movie just cut to credits.
It's a robot minor scuffle.
I wouldn't even call it a scuffle.
Oh my god, stop. Anyways, let's just get to the plot.
Okay, it was barely a brawl. No, wait, no, a brawl would be worse than a scuffle.
Anyways.
Oh yeah, I just want to preface this, but this movie kind of throws a lot of ideas at you that it doesn't really explain. And since we don't usually we don't script our stuff, but weren't sure how to really explain the plot of this movie, so we just pulled up Wikipedia, and Noel's gonna read off that.
Just read the brief summary of this because a surprising amount happens for a movie that not a lot happens in, if that makes any sense.
Supposedly a lot happens.
Anyways, by the year 2041, North America has been ravaged by the Great Toxic Gas Scare of 1993.
I remember that.
Huge chunks of land has been turned into inhospitable desert, where bands of raiders called Centros attack transports. Is that what they were?
Yeah, what? You don't remember this from when we were 2 years old? Centros?
No, I definitely don't remember that.
I think the movie actually takes place in 2041.
It does.
Anyway, keep going.
Anyways, the former United States has been assimilated into a Western bloc called the North Hemi, because being named after an engine totally makes sense.
I think it means hemisphere, you dingus.
Yeah, anyways. The opposing...
I guess we're just going to ignore that.
The opposing Eastern Bloc is known as the Eastern Alliance because they didn't want to call it the Eastern
Hemisphere. I dropped my thing again. Sorry.
Is planning to salvage... the North Hemi is planning to salvage the economy by manufacturing defense robots called Mini-Megs.
Oh yeah, because the giant robot is called a Mega Robot.
Because they're huge.
It's 5 stories, I think they mentioned.
They're like the size of an average cruise ship, if you will.
Yeah, they literally said 5 stories tall in the movie.
No. The section where the people were seated, because this is
that was at the top of the robot.
It's 5 stories. Yes. Anyways, these robots would be half-sized offshoots of the giant Mega Robots. Once ubiquitous warfare.
Ubiquitous.
Okay.
Yeah, ubiquitous.
Popular, important for the war that you do not see in the movie. They talk about it, but that's not what's happening. Anyways, but now reduced to a single specimen, the Mega Robotic Assault System 2, also known as the MRAS-2, pronounced as Maris.
Maris 2.
It's literally just a giant mechanized scorpion.
Yeah, you can see it right there on the picture.
And
the other robot is the one that they get out from underneath the ghost town that was attacked by the gas or something.
So, since it doesn't directly state it in the synopsis, basically the entire movie is just them taking this mechanized scorpion and bringing groups of people back and forth between locations like a cruise ship on land.
Hey, there's tour guides too. To work for the military.
They literally are tour guides. Aside from...
wasn't the tour guide that got off near the end a lieutenant?
The one that was panicking and got dropped out the door?
Yeah, pretty sure they called him a lieutenant.
Let me out of here! Okay. Opens door. Falls 5 stories.
See, now you're getting it. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of this is mentioned. That's the basic setup for the movie. But...
And the movie's based...
It's really just mentioned, and none of it's really important.
Yeah,
the whole main...
just lore dumping.
Most of the movie is lore
scenes.
dumping, and then a character who is obviously the bad guy steals the scorpion robot. So the dumbass hero...
Drake. Because, of course, his name is Drake.
Yeah, like the duck.
What?
His mechanic,
Stump?
I guess, Stumpy, and
Stumpy? Yeah.
Lita, I think she's an archaeologist, find this humanoid robot underneath a town that's been there for like 3 decades and somehow still works.
They've basically mentioned that the town's been abandoned since like
1993, and it's
towards
2041.
the end of the toxic gas scare.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's where the big boy here was.
Yeah, and that's really all
buried.
that happens. Because the first
Like I
3
said,
quarters of the movie is just them like talking about the stuff and referencing things that already happened or that we don't actually see.
Yeah, so long story short, Stumpy and Drake are basically just getting off of touring this.
Did Stumpy survive?
Yes, he did actually.
Okay, I thought
I'm surprised he
Yeah, the
did.
whole thing that he was fucking with was Sparky. I thought he was gonna have some like heroic sacrifice or something.
He went from Stumpy to Sparky, but no, he survived somehow. Anyways, it's mostly just Drake doesn't want to fucking bring civilians through what is essentially very dangerous territories because of
I
these
wonder
raiders.
why.
And he just gets drunk like third of the movie in, and that's basically his entire point until the last like 20 minutes.
Oh, and the archaeologist is his love interest, even though they met like 3 times
And
in the
she
movie.
punched him in the face.
Oops.
Also, her friend is a journalist.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're trying to uncover something.
This is getting long. Let's move on. We spent a lot of time explaining this. Acting was pretty bad.
It was okay.
No, it wasn't. It was shit.
It's like
It was hot, smelly garbage.
it was low budget TV level quality.
The whole it's Full Moon though. It's all of their movies. Oh yeah, the fucking Puppet Master 54 was a funny joke in the movie.
That was the best part of the movie.
That was the joke of the movie. Music and sound.
There was a lot of sounds.
There was nothing to really talk about. Like there was some
very
background
forgettable.
music and maybe some robot sounds and some really stock sounding lasers.
Yeah, I was about to say I like the excessive sound of just the lasers zooming
why
by.
why were the lasers sounding like they were ricocheting?
I mean,
Or zooming by, like you said, like they had some kind of physical presence.
they did say that there was a shield on this Scorpion, but I didn't see
they're
it at all.
lasers.
So maybe it's just bouncing off like laser shields or whatever.
Yeah, laser shields. Oh my god, that they didn't have the budget to animate.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how about cinematography?
There wasn't really much to say about that either. There was a lot of shots of the robot, I guess.
We can get to that in the next part.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of it was just not still frame, just like the camera didn't move. There was static camera as people mostly stood around and talked. That was really a lot of the movie.
Hey, they were
unfortunately.
in the cockpit of the Scorpion robot several times.
So I guess we can skip the special effects. How about that? Just right to it. A lot of stop motion, and I can definitely appreciate the practical effects. That's
Yeah, like the
probably
robots
best
were
part, to be honest.
like stop motion practical effects. Like you said, the environments a lot of the time seemed like they were like dioramas or miniatures.
Yeah, like it looked like they just did a bunch of little mini models on a table, and that's cool. I'm okay with that.
I appreciated that they put a little passenger compartment on top of this like enormous military Scorpion war robot, but
Yeah.
I don't really see the practicality in doing so. I did like how they took the little spot off near the end and put it down gently on the ground before they started boxing the giant Scorpion, though.
Yeah. Oh, as far as the lasers were cheesy, that was definitely CG stuff. The other thing I can say I appreciate is they did the old-fashioned thing where you had the built rooms that the actual people were in, and they had windows that they just played like footage in the background of.
Well, the toxic scare happened around the time this movie was filmed, I believe, in the early 90s. So
Yeah, I know. It just like reminded me of the old things where you see people in cars and the background's just like a rolling film projector or something.
yeah, I mean, you're not going to have you actually go driving in your giant Scorpion robot while people are possibly in danger.